So what's the oldest story ever told? I'm not talking about the Bible, not the Epic of Gilgamesh, not even the pyramids. I'm talking about stories so old they may reach back to the Ice Age. Or even before modern humans maybe. Writing is a baby in human history. The first true writing systems like Sumerian cuneiform are only about 5,000 years old. But us humans, we've been around in our modern form for over 200,000 of those years. That means that almost all of our history was passed down by word of mouth, sitting by campfires with our buddies. And some of those campfire stories might still be alive today. I'm talking about the really old ones. Like, let's look at the Great Flood. In the Bible, it's Noah. In Mesopotamia, it's Unapatism, sorry for the pronunciation. In Greece, it's Diocletian, I don't really know. In India, I can pronounce this one, Manu. All of these places are separated by oceans, yet all of these are telling of a world-destroying flood around the same time. And here's the kicker. At the end of the Ice Age, 10,000 years ago, sea levels rose hundreds of feet, coastlines drowned. Is it possible these flood myths are cultural memories of real disasters? I think so. Aboriginal Australians might hold the oldest living stories on Earth. Some of their traditions describe the Great Barrier Reef as dry land. Others talk about seas swallowing coastal plains. Science has confirmed most of these events actually happened 7,000 to 10,000 years ago. That means these oral traditions may have been preserved across over 400 generations, longer than any written text we have. And then, let's look up at the stars. Across Europe, Siberia, and Native America, there are myths of a great animal, a bear, an elk, sometimes a deer, chased into the sky by hunters. We call this the cosmic hunt. Today we see it as Ursa Major, or the Big Dipper. Scholars think this story spread with Ice Age hunters around 15,000 years ago, all from the same point. This got carried across Siberia and then into the Americas. Imagine a story still told today that was first spoken when people were hunting mammoths. Many cultures also tell of fire falling from the heavens. Aboriginal Australians warn of fiery devils coming from the sky. The Greeks told of Pantheon, maybe, losing control of a sun chariot. Could these be faint memories of real cosmic impacts thousands of years ago? Meteors, comets, witnessed by humans over 12,000 years ago, or even earlier, when the sky itself was the enemy? Of course, people turned it into a myth. And then there are the sunken lands going back to floods. Europe had tales of Doggerland, a land now under the North Sea, once home to Mesolithic hunters. Legends in Britain spoke of hearing the church bells of drowned cities beneath the waves. So these aren't just fairy tales. They may be telling a fading memory of whole countries and civilizations lost to rising seas. But maybe the oldest stories of all are the dragons, giant snakes, sea serpents. They appear in pretty much every culture. Mesopotamia's Tiamat, maybe. The Norse world serpent Jörmungandr. The Chinese dragons. The feathered serpent in South America, Quetzalcoatl. Why would so many people in so many places imagine the exact same monster? Scientists, and I think all of you, know why. For millions of years, snakes were our ancestors' deadliest predators. Think about it. Venomous vipers, giant anacondas and constrictors. Even today, snakes still kill a lot of people around the world. And fossils show our ancestors being preyed upon by snakes. Our brains evolved to spot serpents faster than almost anything else. That primal fear turned into a dragon, or a serpent, a universal story of the predator in the grass. And it wasn't just fear. There were monsters like this. Think of Titanoboa over 60 million years ago, which, some of our very early ancestors, like rodents, would have seen, stretched nearly 50 feet long in Ice Age Australia and Africa. Giant constrictors from Matsoidae family could swallow a human whole. Imagine the terror of early hominins like our earliest ancestors. The hiss in the dark, the coil in the tall grass. And that's where the myth begins. So what's the oldest story? Flood myths reach back to 10,000 years ago. The cosmic hunt, maybe 15,000. Skyfire myths, maybe over 30,000. But the snakes, that story may be hundreds of thousands of years old, embedded in our DNA. Older than our species. It's not just a myth, it's a genetic memory. A survival code passed down from the ages of apes, retold as dragons and world serpents. So the next time you hear about Noah's flood, or look at the Big Dipper, or watch a dragon on screen, remember, you're hearing like your genetic ancestors and those echoes from the Ice Age, and maybe even from before. Stories not just for entertainment. These are fossils of our minds, our ancestors' minds, our first time machine carrying us back tens of thousands of years. Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I'm trying to up my editing quality a little bit, so if you enjoyed it, please leave a comment. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Hope you guys like this video, and on to the next one.